Using the Vegetation tab within Wet Collect. To use the Vegetation tab within Wet Collect, simply click on the vegetation symbol at the top of the page. Within the Vegetation tab, there are 7 pages. The first page deals with stratum plot sizes. These plot sizes can be adjusted per preference. Simply click on the field and then adjust the plot size. The second page deals with adding species. These species can be added by common name and scientific name. This is the same spot where we will add the species per stratum and also add their percent cover. For scientific name, let's search for an alder. I will type in ALN for alnus and then hit search. Here a list of alder species by scientific name is populated. When I click on a species, I'm given the scientific name, the common name, as well as the indicator status. To add it to the plot, simply hit select. Now the species is ready to be added to the plot by stratum. I feel that the species is in the sapling and shrub stratum. I will then add the percent cover for each of these stratums and then hit add species. The species has now been officially added to the plot. Now I'd like to add a species by common name. For a common name species, I will search for oak. I will then search for oak. After searching for oak, several different types of oak species have come up. I feel that this oak species is a chestnut oak. Once again, by clicking on the species, I'm given the common name, the scientific name, and the indicator status. Here I'll hit select to add it to the plot, and then hit the stratum it's in to add it to the official tally. Once I'm ready to add it to the official tally, I will simply hit add species. Now I'll move on to page 3 of 7. This is the summary page. Here information is given about the species, including its percent cover as well as its dominance status. Moving to tab 4, this is the dominance test worksheet. I can see that 2 of the 3 species are FAC, FAC-wet, or obligate. This means that hydrophytic vegetation is present as indicated by the percentage here being greater than 50%. Moving to page 5 of 7, I have a prevalence index worksheet. Here the prevalence index is greater than 3. On tab 6 of 7, this information is summarized. Yes, we do have dominance test. No, we do not have prevalence index. And finally, on page 7 of 7, we have a remarks field as well as information indicating that hydrophytic vegetation is present for the plot. This is also represented on the overall summary page. One additional item that is calculated within the vegetation section is the fact-neutral rule under secondary indicators of hydrology. Here, if we click on the hydrology tab, we can see that fact-neutral test is now present. Going back to the Vegetation tab, I will now illustrate how to edit vegetation. For example, if we feel that speckled alder is in more than one stratum other than sapling and shrub, we can adjust that. Here, we simply click speckled alder and then return to edit the species. We will add it to this tree stratum, add the percent cover associated within that stratum, and hit Save Edits. The edits to the species have now been saved, and the calculations have now been updated. We are also capable of deleting species. Here, I want to get rid of the chestnut oak I felt was in the plot. Here, the information associated with the chestnut oak comes up. If I wish to delete the species, I simply click on Options and then Delete Species. The species is removed from the tally and it is no longer applicable to the calculations. Here on tab 6 and 7, we also have additional indicators associated with vegetation. These indicators are associated with the superscript rules. For instance, morphological adaptations and problematic hydrophytic vegetation also require wetland hydrology and hydric soils to be present to equal a wetland. These situations will be explained in further detail in additional videos. This is just general guidance for using the Vegetation tab in WetCollect.